Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video with your host, Rising Oblivion. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about brand new leaks that we have found within domain names for potentially new Persona 5 related games. Now, normally this isn't something that I would speculate a whole bunch on. There's been a lot of stuff in the past from Persona, Mega 10 stuff from ATLUS that didn't really seem to have too much actually going for it, but this has been something in the past, these domain names, that we have seen actually come to fruition, to actually be something legit. For instance, P3D being the dancing game, P5D being the P5 dancing game, PQ2 being the Persona Q2 New Cinema Labyrinth, and P5R all being domain names that we have seen since April / kind of May of 2017. So we have seen games titles which were domain names that ATLUS actually grabbed onto, and then games that released later down the road. So these domain names are potentially something that we could see in the future. P5S for Strikers also was something that we had in 2018, which we did see the domain name of first before it actually came out. So what I'm going to do today is talk about these brand new domain names that we have seen within the past couple of months and other projects that still have domain names that we have not quite seen yet. So this picture you see here is actually a domain name called P5T .jp, assuming JP just means Japan, probably is just what that's going to be about. But yes, it is Persona 5 and something with a T. I'm not 100% sure what that's supposed to be. I mean, maybe put in the comments what do you think that would be. I mean, like Persona 5 to transformation? I have no idea. I really don't know what to think that this is going to be. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. Again, P5T, this could be anything. We've seen multiple things in the past, polls and stuff like that people have wanted for these games, but P5T is a brand new domain name, like literally just a couple weeks ago that they registered. So this is a brand new thing that either they're just not registering it because they finally figured out a name for it. Who knows how long in development this actually is, but we do know now how this brand new domain name to speculate on, which is pretty interesting. In the past, we've seen other domain names like P5U, P5B, P5M that have been all the way back since 2017 that we have not seen anything for yet, guys. So this could still be nothing, or there could just be other projects or brand new domain names that they try to grab a hold of because they don't know what games are going to be called in the future. For instance, they already have Persona 6, Persona 8, Persona 9, Persona 10. They already have those done. However, I don't think they will just be flat out called those names. They could be. I don't really know. They might be going with the same number system that they have the past couple of games, but Persona 2 had some different ones. Persona 1 had some different ones of like subtitle names. So they might just be grabbing these domain names just so that they can have them in case potentially somewhere somebody would try to grab a hold of it as well. But there is one other domain name other than P5T that might be better than some of these just potentially placeholder names, and that is P3RE, which is speculated to be the Persona 3 remastered. Now, we had those little clips that we'd seen on Twitter surfacing around that supposedly were kind of not real or fake or whatever of a potential Persona 3 remake. Now, the domain name is something that I think might actually be legit. P3RE being registered in March of just this year. So it might be a newer project that they are working on, but we do know for sure that it is a domain name that ATLUS has registered. P3RE, P5T are the brand new domain names that they have now registered. So it could mean something, it could mean nothing. However, P3RE seems like something more, right? It doesn't just seem like a placeholder domain name that they just wanted to grab just in case. It seems like something pretty legit, something pretty real. I mean, why go that far for a remake? Understanding that games in development, like a brand new one, of course you might change through a couple different names, so you grab a couple different domain names just in case you need that. But to have one be P3 Remaster, that seems like something completely different, or remake. It could be either or. Who, I don't know for sure. Hopefully it's a remake, not just a like quote unquote remaster, like HD upscale, blah blah blah. I mean, we kind of already have that, right? They could say there's a remastered version where they maybe change some assets or something, which again they kind of have already done, but who knows? Hopefully it's a remake. I think a remake is what people are going for, what people really want to have. So that is that, right? We have the P3 remake potentially being a thing. I think that has the most like volition out of all of this stuff, the most potential to be something out of these domain names. But P5T, what could that possibly be? Or what could some of these other ones be, right? We have P5U, P5B, P5M, and of course they're just mainline Persona games. Mainline Persona is going to be something we can't really speculate on, but what could the other P5 games be? Because ATLUS did do a survey in 2022 asking people what would they like to see out of the Persona series, and here's the list. There's 9 things that kind of made it to the list. Of course, a Persona 5 fighting game, a Persona series action-adventure game, a Persona series strategy RPG, so not necessarily a turn-based, well, it's turn-based, but like more of a tactical RPG, maybe something more like, you know, Fire Emblem or something like that. A Persona 5 board game, a Persona series that is a text-based adventure game. I don't know if I'd like that, but hey, whatever, I'll try it out. A Persona series new action RPG, so something similar to Strikers but done in a different way. A Persona series new rhythm action game, so not just sort of how we have with the typical rhythm games that we have seen from the Persona series, but something regards to a action game that deals with rhythm as well. Maybe something more similar to what we had seen with the Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory game. That was kind of an action RPG type game. Number 2 here is a Persona series online RPG. I think this would be cool. It'd be fun to play something like that, an online RPG, a turn-based battler game online with like Persona characters. I wouldn't want this restricted to just something like P5, but just to have this with like just all of the Mega 10 characters and demons and Personas in general, that would be really cool. And number 1 being a Persona series card game, so maybe something similar to like Hearthstone or something along those lines might be what people kind of mean with that. It's a little bit hard to say, and I think they tried to keep it a little bit ambiguous, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. There are a few people who try to speculate on the P5T name. Persona 5 Tactics potentially could be that, and like I just said, they were talking about in this poll there being a potential, you know, strategy RPG, so like a tactical based game, something more similar to Fire Emblem. Persona 5 Tactics actually would kind of fall in that vein. There's a Final Fantasy Tactics game as well, which does more of that. It's not just a turn-based game, but actually a tactical based, you know, you place the characters sort of like chess and they fight out in a certain different way. Persona 5 Arena, of course, being P5A is something that a lot of people speculate. That could be P5U. Could also be just be called Persona 5 Ultimate or something like that, which might also be, you know, again, the fighting game or something like that, right? So there's a lot of speculation as to what these domain names could be. Like I said, P5T is the newest one we have. There's some older ones that might just be washed away stuff that they maybe potentially was going to call a game, but then they just said, you know what, we don't really want to do that. The P3RE domain name is something that I'm really excited to see. Hopefully that is a remake. I think if any of the older sort of Persona titles need a remake, I'd say Persona 3 is probably one that could really use a touch-up, give us some more of those quality of life features, you know what I mean, to make it a little more modern. P4 and P5 I think are just fine on their own. They don't really need touched up at all. But P3 would be cool, of course, to see any of the older Persona games, which it doesn't even come to my mind because I just don't think it's very likely, but hopefully we can see that. I'd love to see it, don't get me wrong, but we'll just have to wait and see. We've had some stuff here with these domain names in the past, sometimes we haven't. Again, the dancing games, the Labyrinth game, the PQ games, Persona 5 Royal was one, Strikers was one. We've seen this actually come and be something in the past before, so we just have to wait and see. But I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What kind of Persona game would you like to see come out of a series like this? Let me know down in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe for more content. Check the description down below and use my code at dubby.com. You can just click the link, use code RISING, get 10% off anything that you buy there. They actually have a sale going on, so You can get stuff even cheaper that way. But yeah, use my code and it helps support the channel, and you get some cool stuff, shaker cups, blah blah blah, that kind of jazz. But that's gonna be it for this one. I'll see you in the next video.